Welcome back, everybody, to Yamkela Manya Speaks Football. I think we should name the channel Yamkela Manya or ASAP Speaks Football. One of the two. ASAP Speaks Football or Yamkela Manya Speaks Football. Because we're always speaking football, right? Yeah, guys. Hope you had a lovely day. Yeah, and welcome back to the channel. Yeah, man, look, where do we start? I know I said today I might not upload anything, but what do you know? Suddenly news have came up and I couldn't wait to share this with you guys. Yeah, man, it begins with Riebero. So we had from Unplayable, former CEO of the PSL, who's also an attorney, luckily, has came out and said something which is very, very interesting. So I would like to share with you. Yeah, let's read it. Sports attorney and former SAFA CEO Raymond tells Soccer Bats ZA that Lucas Riebero Costa is fighting a losing battle against at Masantawana, which is Mamelodi Sundowns. I don't see on what basis the player would succeed. In this case, inside brackets, as good as his lawyer may be for the Bosom case, that was many, many years ago. There's been many cases since then, says Hack. The player can't just terminate and say, I'm leaving tomorrow because another club wants to offer me more money. And if that's the case, the interested club must pay Sundowns what's due to Sundowns. Yes, guys, so that's what has came from Raymond Hack. Because I've also been thinking about it. It's like, look, guys, like, football is a business. And contractual agreements are signed before a player gets to represent a certain club. It's like me signing a contract that I'm gonna work for a certain company, and then after working for the certain company, then decides not to show up. The club the company can then decide to dismiss me, or they can decide to take me to court. Maybe that agreement was stipulated that I'm gonna be with them for a couple of years. If another firm wants me, they must pay the club what's due to them, what the company thinks I'm value to them. Because look, I'm contracted to them. I'm obligated to represent that specific club. Because think about it, how would it be like now? Suddenly, any player can just terminate a contract as he feels. Suddenly, like for instance, Mbappe can then decide tomorrow, look, I'm not gonna play for PSG, I'm going to Real Madrid, when he used to play for PSG. Or Haaland can then decide tomorrow, look, I'm tired of playing for Manchester City, I'm going to Barcelona. How would football be? Where every player can just decide tomorrow that I want to change a club without any consequences. What would then stop club for then saying, after you playing for them and then deciding after a couple of months, after you have signed for instance a 5-year contract, couple of months you're not well, or you get injured. For instance, let's say, for God forbid you get injured, and then the doctor say, yo, look, you're injured, you're gonna be injured for 2 years, and then you had a 3-year contract. Just for instance, club can't then just decide, look, you can then go home, then not give you a single cent. How would football be? So that's why I always thought that Riebero has no feet to stand on. But I'm waiting to see how will this thing pan out. Because I really want to see how this thing pan out. Will Riebero get what he wants and will but FIFA must be rest assured. If they do give Riebero what he wants, it's gonna be chaos in football. Any player is gonna wake up tomorrow and say, look, I don't wanna play for this club anymore, I wanna go to that club. I don't wanna play for that club, I wanna go to that club. There will be no rules and regulations anymore. Contract won't mean nothing. We could sign a contract and then wake up tomorrow and not fulfill that contract. Because that's what I feel. That's what I feel. And by my understanding, contracts are legally binding. Meaning whatever you agree on the contract, you have to fulfill it. Meaning that if I agree that I'm going to be with Mamelodi Sundowns for 4 years, I have to agree that 4 years. So we will wait and see. But from Raymond Hank, who's a long-time attorney, who has also been a CEO of PSL, I'm quite sure he knows what he's speaking about. And to those Twitter lawyers, we had a lot of Twitter lawyers the whole week, from last week until today, been telling us that, look, wada, this is going to happen, blah, 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 this, and this is going to happen. But if an attorney is saying this, then we be rest assured that look, Masandawana will win this case. Yeah, not even moving from that. Another case is coming from Maseko. We're still talking about transfers, guys. Apparently, Maseko also submitted a transfer request. He also wants to be gone. Yeah. What did I say? I think about yesterday. I think on the video I uploaded yesterday. Just go watch that video. I said it won't be long before we hear Maseko also submitted a transfer request. And yeah, we wake up today when you hear such a story that he has also submitted the transfer request. Let's read this thing. Roma, this is soccer pass also, but I wouldn't trust soccer pass that much. But yeah, Maseko is pushing to leave Sundowns due to limited game time and growing mental strain, per the South African. A loan to Cyprus collapsed. Now his camp is reportedly racing to secure a move before the window shuts. What did I say? Maseko wants out of Mamelodi Sundowns. But he was never a good player anyway. I don't know why we signed him. One of Rulani's golden boys. But yeah, the guy wants gone. The guy wants to be out. The guy feels like he's not valuable. The guy feels like he's not getting a fair chance like other players. I don't know which player are those, but yeah. So that's the thing about Maseko. What do I think personally? Look, I've never valued Maseko, as I've said countless times. I've never valued him. I always felt like he was a golden boy who never deserved to be Mamelodi Sundowns. He was one of the players who was given many opportunities and who never grabbed the opportunity by the scruff of the neck. I felt like every time he was given an opportunity, he just found a way to deserve it, to hold it, to be firm on that. Unlike who was never given enough chances, I think. But this guy was given countless times and he never succeeded. And now he is embarrassing us. He can leave. As far as I know, I would even release him on a free. I've released him a free. Maybe when he goes to another club, he will suddenly become a top player like he was at Supersport. But at Mamelodi Sundowns, it never worked out. It was never going to work out anyway because look, we were holding. Even the Sunday, it never worked out at Manchester City. I don't know why Rulani thought it might work at Mamelodi Sundowns, because remember, Rulani was playing the same exact style as Pep Guardiola playing at Manchester City, and Leroy Sané never worked at Manchester City. I don't know why Maseko, there was a feeling that it would work at Mamelodi Sundowns. It never worked because look, we are a ball position club. That's our system. We keep the ball. How are we then going to have a pacey winger? Who is going to be pacing us? Because look, we're playing against teams which are going to be sitting at the back, playing a low block. How are you then going to make a pass for a pacey? It never made any sense. But yeah, I'm not the sporting director, but I think this is one of the signings which caused a friction between Rulani and the sporting director, Fleming Beck. And in this case, I will side with Fleming Beck. I felt like Fleming Beck had the right idea of how we were playing, and this guy was not gonna fit the style. And I think Rulani, for whatever reasons why he liked Maseko, it just blinded him to the style we were playing, and he thought Maseko will fit in, because it never fit in. It never fitted in. So I'm not sad that he's leaving. In actual fact, I'm more happy that he's leaving. I can't wait to see the back of his number. Bye bye. You never deserve to be Mamelodi Sundowns anyway. And I'm sorry I have to speak like this, but sometimes in football you have to be brutal. Especially after the stunt he pulled on Instagram, making us defend the rubbish. We are now being called Prison FC because of such stunts he pulled. So yeah, he can go. And then we looked into the matter of the fans. Apparently our fans, after the game, they stormed the bus. They literally wanted to break Cardoso, the players' legs. Look, you can't blame the fans. The players were fans by anger, man. It's been a while since the fans have shown so much anger. I remember the times of Upito. I never knew it would happen so fast with Cardoso, but Cardoso has been taking the piss, man. For quite some time now, he's been taking the piss. He's been pissing at the wind. For how long has he been dragging us? Look, this guy fell in the Champions League because of some certain players he's not willing to drop. We went to the Club World Cup, he did the same thing. He won the league. We have been winning the league without him. There's nothing he put in. And now he dragged us in this competition. Look, I'm telling you, if this man was Mangoba, he would have been long gone. But it's not Mangoba, he's a Portuguese, a white man. So he is going to stay a bit longer. I can't remember who said that, but I have to go and look. Who said this now? There was someone who said, but there was someone who said, we tend to, it was the Orlando Pirates coach, he said we tend to fear European coaches. We are quick to judge our own men. And I feel like that was the same thing which happened to Mangoba. We were quick to judge him. We never wanted him. We just gave him, it's like Roberto Di Matteo with Chelsea after he won the Champions League. He was only there for 3 months or 4 months after, and he was given a two-year contract. Chelsea has never given any coach a 2-year contract. So there are those coaches where you feel like, look, if I don't give this guy a chance, the media, the fans, and everyone will be on my case. So let me give him, but I did not really want him. That was the same case with Mangoba. The moment fans started complaining, he was thrown out. But look, how many times have the fans been complaining about Cardoso, but they're still not checking him out. So it's the same exact story. So Klopp said, seeing fans blocking the team pass wasn't good. Fans who behave badly or spread negativity to influence others will be banned from the stadium. That's Loftus at, what's this other stadium? Athrasville. I don't know which one, maybe both. This is unnegotiable. We value our fans, but safety comes first. True friends will cheer Sundowns with respect regardless of results. He's taking the piss on that. He's pissing at the win. You can't, he's a billionaire. Look, him, 40 rand going to the stadium or 1,000 rand. Like for me, if I have to go and watch a game in Pretoria, I have to pay 1,006. And I have went to so many games. I have to pay 1,006. For me, 1,006 is like breaking my leg. For him, 1,006 is like 10 cents. And he has to speak like that. He's taking the piss. He's pissing on the win, man. He has to understand 1.6 for me and him is actually not the same. If he paid for my 1.6 to travel, then I wouldn't mind if he says he will be banning us from the field. But if he's not going to pay for us, we'll literally ban the bloody pass. And if he wants his family can sell the club, then they can give it to someone. Then we can go back to the mediocre club who wants to be. Like, look, we were there when Jens Kens was coaching the club and he took us to number 10. It's not the first time we will be battling for the 8th position. Look, we are grateful for the success they've given us. We have even taken the league now for granted. But that doesn't mean he must take us granted and tell us what to do and what not to do. You should be happy that there are fans there going to watch the club. Look, I like the Motsepe family for what they have done for Mamelodi Sundowns. But the truth of the matter is that for me, 1.6 is a lot of money. I have every right to raise my frustration. If my frustration seems to beat the team back, because look, these guys are not hearing us. How many times have been complaining about Cardoso? Cardoso has done nothing but just win us the league like any other coach since Upinzo. Even the trouble we won it with Mangoba, Steve Compel and Roland. That guy is not gonna do that because he's already lost the MTN 8, and I'm telling you now, he's not gonna win the Carling knockout. I can tell you now. Yeah. So even who's this guy? I think was it Williams? Yeah, I think Williams also said something about us not behaving good. Like, look, he travels for free. He gets paid afterwards. No matter how many times he thrings us, and how many times has this guy been throwing us? He gave a pass to the Dortmund in the Club World Cup for them to score a goal. Yeah. And he has his own favorites like Mukwena. Mukwena kicking penalties and missing them game after game. And Shalulile being on the bench, not even getting a kick. But how many times has Shalulile scored penalties, but suddenly he's not kicking any penalties, he's starting at the bench, he's not even playing. Well done. Why didn't Shalulile kick the penalty? I'll tell you why. Because Williams was the captain and his friends collided and said, look, only my friends are going to kick the penalties, and that's what's happened. Look what happened, we lost. I'm not going to even read the Twitter. He said, don't have time for Williams. As far as I know, bench that guy. Cardoso is complaining about these players have not had a good time rest. Those guys are getting paid millions. He's telling us Orlando Pirates has had time to rest. He says have not had time to rest. That's his excuse for why we got knocked out by Orlando Pirates. Again. That was his excuse. The guy lost us the net bag against Kaizer Chiefs. The guy lost us the Champions League against Pyramids. We didn't even make it out of the group stages in the Club World Cup. And he knocked us out again in MTN 8. And he's still there. Imagine Mangoba Mngwit, I repeat it again. And then he came up with such an excuse, Mangoba Mngwit, you will be out, but again there will be a club statement by now saying, look, we have had enough of Mangoba and we wish him luck in his future endeavors. But what was the Cardoso? Because he was headhunted by, guess who? Flemberg. Yeah, guys, we move. I think Tego Modisa said something very interesting. He said something very interesting, and we're gonna see it now. I think about 8 o'clock on extra time. Sibele scored that goal with a hand. That was a handball. That goal should have never counted. What should have ours have counted? I've seen many throw-ins being taken not in the same place, but that was a couple of meters away. I ran about 8-9 meters away. So I'm quite sure they're also gonna say we shouldn't have scored that goal. But we will see it at 8 o'clock. I think both clubs benefited, but we will wait and see at 8 o'clock. Yes, we moved to Kaizer Chiefs. The story about Joseph Mart, yeah, he went to Europe. Apparently, I've read that somewhere about a day or two ago. The initial fee that Kaizer Chiefs sold Mart for was 2.6 million rands. How much is Kaizer Chiefs buy Mart from Sekhukhune? Apparently 7 million. So they have made a loss about 4-point-something million. But that's not where the issue is. The issue is Sekhukhune is looking for a 20% sell-on fee, all that amount which Kaizer Chiefs got. So basically, Sekhukhune was an extra. From that 4 million they gained from Kaizer Chiefs, they still want to milk Kaizer Chiefs even more. It's a funny story. Look, I know Kaizer Chiefs wants to send players to Europe. I don't know why they like doing that, but Mamelodi Sundowns, you're not gonna send a player to Europe at an expense of at our account. We're never gonna do that. We're a big club. Clubs should respect us. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Apparently, some people saying Mart was not willing to extend his contract, so Kaizer Chiefs felt pressured to sign him on the 2.6 million. But now comes Sekhukhune, they're looking for the 20%. They're looking for 20%. Here's the thing, let me read the tweet quickly. More transfer to SV Riebero, the reportedly cost just 2.6 million, a major loss for Kaizer Chiefs, who signed him for 6 million in 2022. Per Pan African football, a 20% salary clause now sees Chiefs owning Sekhukhune around 530k, with a report of a possible dispute. Sekhukhune is taking them to the FIFA. They want their 20%. Kaizer Chiefs has been robbed. Point blank. Seriously, guys. Yeah, man. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow for the preview. I'll also negotiate the fact that I think there are about 28,000. I think 28,000 tickets which have been sold, and it's only gonna be made 40,000 tickets. So I don't even know why they're playing the game in the middle of the week. This is not actually the first. This is actually I think the second or the third time in a row that they're playing this game in the middle of the week. Last year they played it, I think, on the 9th of August, Women's Week, or that month, that year. And last year the league started in September. I think it was during Heritage. I don't know why they keep on doing this to this feature, and they're playing it at night. No security whatsoever. I don't know what's going on at PSL. Maybe they're just using AI to set the fixtures. No one is sitting there and thinking with the right head how to set the fixtures. I don't know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button to be notified once a new video has been uploaded. Love you guys. Thank you.